Hello, everyone. Welcome in to Forechecking again on CUTV Sports 1. You thought we were done, but we have one more show for you for this semester. I'm Trevor Gattelis, as always. Joining me again, Doug Glackey, Peyton Trollinger. Nolan Beislein has finally rejoined us again. We missed you for a couple weeks, man. And Scotty P is back with us again. We're missing Johnny. We're not sure where he is. He said he was going to be on the show, but he has not yet joined us, and he's not answering our phone calls. So we have a time limit. We got to get started. So we're going to roll with it. This show today covering all of the free agent signings. Of course, free agency did open for the NHL. So we're going to go through all the big-name signings and every team, kind of toss it between you guys. I'm going to bring up a name, toss it to one of you guys. Give me a little rundown what you think, and we'll move on. We got a lot of names to cover in just a short amount of time. Our man, Nolan Beislein, has work, so we got to get through these quickly. All right, let's start it off. I want to start with Doug, since he already called dibs on this. Taylor Hall to the Buffalo Sabres. Your turn. Go ahead when you're ready.
This was beyond unexpected. Taylor Hall took a one-year deal, $8 million this season with the Buffalo Sabres. And I think it's basically he's just taken that one-year deal to bet on himself. You know, he's going to get to play with one of the best playmaking centers in the league in Jack Eichel. And whether he has Sam Reinhart or Victor Olofsson on that right wing with him and Jack, he's still going to be in good shape. So he's going to go there. He's going to light it up for the whole year. I think he has a no movement clause, so I don't see him getting traded at the deadline. But if he does, I mean, you're still going to get an A-level prospect and maybe a first or a second round draft pick out of him, especially if he's on. So that's good asset management by the Sabres. I don't know if this pushes them over the edge because their third and fourth lines are kind of like going into like a nuclear fallout. But the top six is really good. The defense is okay. They could do a little better on goaltending, but there's certainly a ton of options still out there with Vegas needing to clear cap space.
Okay, sounds good with that. Let's move on to the next one. And that one, I'm just going to – these are in no particular order, guys. Just throwing them around here. The big man, the king. We're going to start us over to Nolan Beislein. Henrik Lundqvist signing with the Washington Capitals. Nolan, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, big move. You know, the king coming to the Capital with Ovi, and, you know, who else would you want to see maybe end his career with the Stanley Cup here in Washington? So I think it's something that's going to be exciting to see him and Samsonov there in net. You know, I think they'll both get their – I think Samsonov will for sure get more games, but Lundqvist's still going to get a fair share amount. And, you know, maybe if they need, you know, somebody gets hurt, maybe he'll be the starter then. So, you know, I'm really excited about it. You know, it's definitely upsetting seeing Holtby leave, which I'm sure that will be brought up. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, the Kings in Washington, and hopefully he can make something out of it while he's here.
All right, hopefully, indeed. And I hit the wrong button, so we're jump back in. Okay, cool. I exited the full screen instead of going back to gallery view, ladies and gentlemen. So sorry about that. Let's jump to the next one. This one's going to Scotty P, and it's Torrey Krug headed to the St. Louis Blues to replace Alex Petrangelo. Give me your thoughts on that one.
I think it's a great fit. I think Torrey Krug definitely still has a lot in the tank as far as his ability is concerned, and obviously St. Louis missed out on Alex Petrangelo, so to have him slide into that role is going to be very good for them. I feel like St. Louis, you know, kind of hit a little bump in the road this season, obviously, when you lose as early as they did, but I don't think there's anything to panic over. I still think they have a decent team. If Jordan Binnington can return to his 2019 form, then I think they should be good to go. And having an offensive defenseman like Torrey Krug on the back end will definitely help out for them moving forward.
All right, indeed it will. And we are going to pause for 1 second here. Johnny has entered the meeting, ladies and gentlemen. He's in our waiting room right now and blowing up our phones because he wants in. So we are going to add him in, give you a quick rundown, and then get back into it. Peyton, you'll be next up, so just prepare. You will have Eric Gustafsson to the Flyers. So just give a little preparing for a second. Let's jump over and let's add Johnny into the meeting. Give him 1 second to get in here. He will let's see when he pops in here. Give it 1 second. He probably has his bad Wi-Fi as usual. There we go. All right, Johnny. Johnny, we are already in show, so just so you know. All right, let's keep going. What?
My bad.
Did you sleep in, buddy?
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Eric Gustafsson to the Flyers. Peyton, this one is you. Go ahead when you're ready.
So I got it pulled up on my phone because I mean, yeah, this is a big signing, but it's not as big as like a lot of the other free agent signings. But Gustafsson was signed to a 1-year deal, $3 million with the Flyers. I got some of the stats pulled up here. He got 29 points in 66 games with the Flames, which I think is a very admirable number as a defenseman. And Gustafsson is joining a Flyers team that's already stacked with potential. I mean, we saw it this past year with the playoffs. Flyers made, they made some noise, and they really did need to make that noise. So I feel like Gustafsson is going to be a really good fit here for the back end for the Flyers, help out Carter Hart a little bit, help out their offensive production, and who knows what he can do there. So.
Okay, sounds good. And Johnny, I'm going to give this one to you because I think you already called dibs on it in the chat. And Tyler Toffoli to the Canadians. So whenever you are ready, go ahead and give me your little overview on this one.
Tyler Toffoli, yeah, that was it. The player I did call in the chat because I believe it was Monday. We saw the signing of this go down on as I have the Kings jersey, the former LA King who was traded to Vancouver earlier this year here at the deadline. Definitely an impact player for Montreal. Oh, he's one of those role players. Definitely he could fit in third or second line for Montreal, I believe. Gives you about 30, 40 point. So I think Montreal got a good player out of this for I believe it was a 4-year deal. Well, we're trying to pull it up here as we're talking. And let's see here. Yep. Yeah, 4-year, $17 million contract with the Canadians, and after moving around the deadline. But I do believe this could be a big impact player for Montreal this year.
All right. Let's I'm gonna jump back to Guyview here. I'm gonna get these big ones out of the way real quick because I know probably Doug and a bunch of you are dying to get these out of the way. So I'm gonna do this next one's I'm gonna shoot this next one over to Scotty. And I'm giving you Matt Murray, buddy. And Doug, you're getting Jack Johnson following this, so Scotty, go ahead with Matt Murray to the Ottawa Senators.
Makes sense. It's a good fit, honestly. Ottawa obviously letting go of Craig Anderson, out with the old and in with the new, basically. I think this is going to be a great place for Matt Murray to sort of catch his second wind as far as his career is concerned. Obviously, he's hit a few bumps in the road in the last few years with Pittsburgh. We've talked about that in previous episodes. But I think this is the right thing for Matt Murray. He signed a deal that will keep him there in Ottawa for a long time, for at least a substantial amount of time. The team is still – I don't think they're playoff team just yet. I feel like they still have a couple more pieces they need to throw in there. But for right now, I think this is the place that Matt Murray needs to be because they are going to be a good team probably in the next 2 or 3 years. But this seems like a good fit for Ottawa.
Okay, and let's jump over to Doug. As I said, Jack Johnson. The Penguins bought him out. He's on the Rangers now. Go ahead, Doug.
Let me tell you, man.
Big smile on your face.
I never thought this day would come. I'm a happy camper right now. You never want to prey on someone's downfall, but oh my God, I was all over it that day. I was on the phone with Johnny when it happened, and I let out the loudest yell. Like, it was just like a sigh of relief knowing that this man is gone. And I think it's amazing that he signed a contract with the New York Rangers because we've now realized that the problem child the entire time wasn't Jim Rutherford or Mike Sullivan. It was actually Jacques Martin, who thinks Jack Johnson can kill penalties when he can't even clear the puck out of his own zone and gets caved in every single moment he gets. So it's kind of funny that he went and tanked a generational talent's production these past few years in Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, and now he's going to go tank Alexis Lafreniere. It's just incredible. I love it. You can't make this up.
I agree. You can't. Let's jump over to Nolan here. We're also going with another former Penguin, but he headed to the Capitals, and it's Justin Schultz. So give us your thoughts on this one. You have a former Penguin on your team, Nolan. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I talked to Doug too, and when Doug said he gave the biggest scream of enjoyment whenever Jack Johnson left Pittsburgh, I think I gave the biggest scream of disappointment when I heard Justin Schultz was coming to Washington. But we'll see what happens. I definitely think he could be there in that third line, but it's somebody that's won a couple cups in Pittsburgh and has that experience. Hopefully, can come in and help the Caps. But that's really all I got to say about it.
Okay, I'm gonna double this one up with these next. I'm gonna double this next two up and go between you and Peyton here. So I'm gonna start with you, and I'm gonna jump to Peyton to finish it off.
Okay.
So obviously, it's a two-way switch here. Brayton Holtby now heading to the Canucks. I know you mentioned it earlier. So give me a quick thought on that, and I'm gonna jump to Peyton to finish it off, and then he can do the next one as well.
Yeah, I mean the rumor, had it that he was going out to one of those Western teams, if it was gonna be Edmonton or Calgary or Vancouver, but whenever it first happened, I was kind of surprised. I know I messaged some of my friends and was like, it's kind of interesting to see that he went to Vancouver, even though they have Thatcher Demko. But I think that honestly solidifies that kind of not even a 1-2. I think it's more of a 1A and 1B where if somebody goes a little bit cold, you put the other one in. You just kind of switch back and forth. And then I think he also brings that experience that's going to be able to help Demko that Markstrom didn't have. So, that's my thoughts. I hope the best for him. It's almost like the Vancouver Capitals out there now, as they say, because of Holtby, Beagle, and now Nate Schmidt out there as well. So,
all right, now jumping over to Peyton. As I said, finish this one off for us. You can also give me your thoughts because you're a Canucks fan. Brayton Holtby coming to the Canucks, and then you can just roll with it after you finish that one. Your thoughts on Jacob Markstrom headed to the Flames.
So I think the fact that Vancouver and Brayton Holtby going to benefits the Canucks. He's a very solid goaltender. Didn't like him when I was a Penguins fan, and he was on the Caps, but you got to give it to him. He is a really talented goaltender. Jacob Markstrom, I think he just had to go, honestly, because whenever you have a goalie tandem in Vancouver as Thatcher Demko and Brendan Holtby, that's insane. Like the level of talent that's going to be coming up from Demko is going to be insane. Holtby's going to be holding the crease for him. Markstrom's finally gone, so I don't think it'll be as inconsistent anymore. So I'm very glad that whole thing is done. I think the addition of Nate Schmidt's also going to be great for the back end of the Canucks. And, simple as that. I think the Vancouver did really well this offseason.
Okay. I like that. I'm going to throw this one over to Johnny, I believe, because if I believe I'm right, sometimes I feel like I'm wrong. But Matthias Janmark, I believe, was a Dallas Star, correct? Am I wrong?
Janmark, I believe he was.
Am I wrong? Am I right?
No, you're right.
I'm right. That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay. Well, he's a Blackhawk now. So, Johnny, as a Dallas Star fan, you're losing Matthias Janmark. Give me your thoughts on him heading to Chicago.
I was actually surprised by this one and the way Dallas was handling everything in the start off free agency. They were literally re-signing everybody. So I thought it was going to be like how the Penguins were on the back-to-back run. It was like, well, here comes everybody back to Pittsburgh for another run. But no, he's off to greener pastures, I guess. So hats off to him. Appreciate what he did here in Dallas. So I can't wait to see what he does in Chicago.
All right, I like that. We have a unique one here, and I'm not sure whoever. This is one of the ones I'm gonna say it's up for grabs. Whoever wants to take it can take it. A couple of these in here. Kevin Shattenkirk, of course, he was on the Tampa Bay Lightning, just won a Stanley Cup. Now signing a deal with the Anaheim Ducks. So, Doug, you have your hand up. You can go for it.
Taking it.
You go.
All right. So, amazing asset management by the Anaheim Ducks, who cap dumped noted big, strong man Eric Goodbranson to the Ottawa Senators, and then gave Kevin Shattenkirk the same exact cap hit. That's beautiful. Like, that is incredible for them. I think that they're a team that's slowly going to start rolling again, because they still have John Gibson. They have a lot of nice young pieces around their forward group that's led by Ricard Raquel, and that defense is absolutely loaded now with Shattenkirk added to it, and he's probably going to end up playing in a second or third pairing capacity. So, yeah,
Nolan had a thumb down for that one. You have some
Oh.
thoughts on that, Nolan?
His career is done in Anaheim. I think he's been to one too many teams, and he's just not going to fit in with that young group out there.
Okay.
If you don't mind, Nolan, I'm going to interject here. Personally, I don't think Kevin Shattenkirk cares if he fits in or not. At the end of the day, he's making 3.9 over the next 3 years. So I'm sure he's taking that with a smile right now. The fact that, he was kind of on the rocks there with Tampa Bay, and then he's able to win a cup, and now he gets paid for the next 3 years. I'm sure he's going to be just fine with that. Maybe he won't fit in with Anaheim, who knows, but I'm sure Kevin Shattenkirk's going to enjoy his time there. 364 days of sun and 1 day of rain. That's not bad. I'd be fine with that.
Just to add on to this, he's still getting paid $6.5 million a year to not play hockey for the New York Rangers. That's amazing for him.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I forgot about that as well.
I forgot about that.
But jumping back to gallery view, let's move on to the next one. Another former Penguin for one season, not even a full season, but Scotty, Patrick Marlowe heading back to the Sharks.
Right, our buddy Patrick Marlowe.
Go ahead.
What is this now, third or fourth tour of duty with San Jose?
23rd season.
Goodness, sure, why not? Good for him, I guess. Gets one more year in the sun. He's chasing. I mean, at this point, he's just chasing a legacy. I saw something that said if he played 45 games next season, then he passes like Gordie Howe's all-time games played mark. So I guess that's cool for him. At this point, he's just chasing a legacy. He really doesn't have anything else to prove. He's definitely not going to. He's not going to try and find a cup because he's not doing it in San Jose for how poorly things have turned out out there. So he'll probably spend about half the season there. Then maybe they'll start shopping him to a cup contender again. But, at the end of the day, it's just another year of Patrick Marlowe stealing money from some NHL franchise. So good for him.
I actually think that – I don't think they're going to shop him. I think they're just going to keep him, and he's just going to retire. Like, I think that's what's going to happen. I think this might be his last season. I seriously doubt he plays another season. But
we can only hope.
Him and Big Joe go out together.
Exactly. That's what's going to happen.
Well, hold on. That's the thing. And what about Joe Thornton? Because there's rumor of him going to Toronto.
Who doesn't Toronto have? Like, who hasn't?
I know, but
Toronto not signed. They've signed everybody.
Well, it's between Toronto and Detroit so far this offseason. And it's either we've heard someone's going to Toronto or someone's going to Detroit, and it's literally been that.
I'm gonna let you cover Detroit here, Johnny. I'm gonna throw this to you. You got two of them that I have marked down here for Detroit. Lemestikov and Bobby Ryan, both to Detroit. So just give me your thoughts on them real quick.
So I missed the Lemestikov deal. Oh, however, the Bobby Ryan deal, I believe I was on the phone with you, Doug, when this deal went down. I'm like, good grief, Detroit's just signing up everybody right now. And I think it was last show Doug said this, that Detroit is literally weaponizing their roster right now. Oh, like they were taking on some contracts, but they're also signing guys that are going to play with some of these younger kids that they have in the roster. So I am actually worried as a Penguins fan what these guys are going to do whenever they do face off with Detroit 8, because they're going to have some talent there. I'm not going to say they're going to go around and knock the Penguins' heads off like they did in the past when you had Zetterberg and that company there. But I do believe that it's going to be interesting to see. And I was surprised to see, now that I'm looking it up, Lemestikov going over there from your Colorado Avalanche. I thought he would go with another cup contender or re-sign with Colorado, to be honest. But, again, another guy getting a payday.
I'm going to throw this next one over to Nolan Beisline. And you got three of them here just to cover everybody from the one team. So we got TJ Brody, Zach Bogosian, and Wayne Simmons all to the Toronto Maple Leafs. So just give me your thoughts.
It's something I always tell Doug. Somehow Toronto figures out how to do salary cap when there's a limit. And with a bunch of good players, I don't know how they do it. But, I think it's definitely something that is going to benefit them. Maybe it's going to help them make it a little bit further in the playoffs. They just can't seem to get over that hill. And I think once they do get over that hill, they'll be okay. But until then, I don't know. And I'm sure Doug has a lot more in Toronto just because of that's like if the Penguins weren't existent, I think Doug's team would be the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
But, I mean, as me and Doug talked this morning, you almost don't even hear of the younger guy, Rasmus Sandin, anymore. So, you almost, TJ Brody almost just kind of came in and took that spot out.
Yeah. We'll throw this next one over to Peyton. And it's the only one I have on here for the New Jersey Devils. It's Corey Crawford, head of the Devils. So, Peyton, this is you.
Corey Crawford to the New Jersey Devils. Oh, boy. I think I don't even know. Like, this was kind of random. I mean, I kind of knew that his time in Chicago was going to come to a disappointing end. He's done so much for that Chicago Blackhawks franchise, but it's honestly just time to move on. He had to go somewhere, and I guess he goes to New Jersey. Much needed. Corey Schneider and Mackenzie Blackwood are not that good because of the fact that they have a terrible team in front of them, and Mackenzie Blackwood just he can't do anything. There's so many leaks in the defense that he literally just cannot keep up. So maybe adding Corey Crawford stabilizes it. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But, I mean, hey, good for him. I hope Corey Crawford, finishes out his legacy and he does what he has to do.
Okay, I like it. Let's jump over and let's hit the next one. We're back around the circle here, so we're getting back to it. Throw it up to Doug. I know he's probably waiting for this one. We actually pushed the show off a little bit just to wait to see if this man signed, and he finally did. So, Doug, take it away. Alex Petrangelo to the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah, this is something that's been in the works ever since I feel like ever since the NHL moved out of the bubble, where Alex Petrangelo was rumored to go to it was either going to be St. Louis or to Vegas. And this whole thing gets super interesting now because a lot of the Vegas players are angry. There's a lot of dysfunction going on in that city right now. And because like all these guys are getting big deals and they're getting commitment, and now they're starting to move guys out. Like they had to move out Paul Stastny. They moved out Nate Schmidt, which, I mean, I understand. I mean, if you have a chance to replace Nate Schmidt with Alex Petrangelo, you do it every day of the week and twice on Sunday, but it's going to be interesting. I think they're still over the cap. They're still over the cap by like $1 million. They need to find a way to move out cap, and there's a very specific goaltender who has a cult following that should probably be moved out of there. It's just I don't know where you move him to because you gave him big money when he doesn't really deserve it.
Right.
Going to Pittsburgh. Accept it. He's going back to Pittsburgh.
4-team trade. One team retains 50%, another team retains 50% of the 50%, and then we just ruin Tristan Jarry's life. Let's just book it now.
That's what's going to happen. It's going to happen. He's going to retire with Pittsburgh.
It's in the back of my mind, and it hurts me.
I can see the pain in your eyes.
This next one goes over to Scotty. Scotty, I'm going to do a roundabout thing here. So I'm going to give you the teams I have left here, and you pick, and then I'll tell you who's on them, who I got for them. So we got the Avalanche, the Blue Jackets, the Oilers, Panthers, Wild, and Stars.
Let's see. Let's go Blue Jackets. They had an interesting offseason so far.
Yeah. So I have Mikko Koivu written down. Than anybody else you have, you can take it away. Go for it.
Just another one real quick. Max Domi was obviously acquired in that trade for Josh Anderson. And oh my goodness, what an overpayment there by Mark Bergevin on that one. But we won't talk about that for now.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good fit as far as Domi's concerned. He seemed like he was really appreciated whenever he played for Montreal. So hopefully he does well in Columbus as well. Not too well, obviously. Mikko Koivu, I think he's just hanging around, seeing if he can win another cup. Obviously, Minnesota's not the place to do it anymore. I don't know how much Columbus will be, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Grigorenko also signing a 1 year with Columbus as well. So they were relatively they made the little moves, but they made it count. I was honestly expecting a bigger push for them. You saw all the moves that they were making, and you figured at some point these guys were going to try and chase one of the big fish, and they didn't really go after it. But at the same time, they didn't sign a Jack Johnson or somebody to a bad contract. So I'd say that it was played smart by the Jackets this offseason, thus far at least.
Yeah. I'm going to throw this one over to Johnny. It's the only one I have written down for the Stars, but if you have any other ones you saw, you can let me know. Mark Pysyk from the Panthers to the Stars. Go ahead.
I was actually happy to see it especially after losing a couple players already this year in a free agency. So I was happy to see Dallas brought somebody in, and I think he's going to fit in well. Another good role player I think that the Dallas Stars can use out here. So I'm excited to watch them play again.
Okay. Next one goes over to Peyton. You get the same thing, Peyton, with the roundabout pick. We have the Oilers, Panthers, Wild, or Avs.
I'll give you the Avs. I'm going to take the Oilers on this one.
Oilers? All right, so you have Tyson Barrie and Kyle Turris both headed to the Oilers. Give us your thoughts.
So, I think they did okay during the offseason. You know, they got Tyler. I have it right here. Kyle Turris, Forsberg. They got Ennis. They got Tyson Barrie, which I found interesting. And then they got the infamous Mike Smith in goaltending. I don't know how I feel about that because he probably the definition of inconsistent. You know, he'll do really good and he'll just let you down. I feel like Tyson Barrie might have a little bit more push in him. You know, they got Kyle Turris, I believe, from Nashville. So I think, honestly, like, I don't think they did too bad. I mean, hopefully they can make it past the first round and they can actually make noise. But I don't like that Mike Smith contract. I mean, it's only 1 year, but still, Mike Smith is very, like, to say the least. But, you know, not much to say there, though.
Okay. Next up, Nolan Beisline. Let's throw it over to you. Again, either Panthers or Wild. What do you got?
Oh, I guess we'll take the Wild. You better have some names, though.
I have Cam Talbot written down. I was trying to throw all these together this morning, so if you have more than you got, go for it. But I got Cam Talbot written down as a big one.
I mean, Cam Talbot, you know, they lost Devin Dubnyk, I'm pretty sure.
They did.
So, you know, it kind of, you know, allows them to have, I wouldn't say a starting goaltender, but a backup goaltender. You know, I think maybe you could see more of the, never know his name, but Capo, whatever that guy's name is, the young goaltender there that's down in the AHL playing right now. I think maybe they can bring him up and try to get him some starts and maybe mix it in between those two. But, you know, the other thing I saw was they re-signed Jordan Greenway. So, you know, a younger player that brings some experience, but, you know, losing a veteran like Koivu could hurt him a little bit. So I still think they got a couple of years before they could do anything. So, as well as I guess they lost Eric Stahl, if you think about it. So
Eric Stahl went to the, I believe, the Sabres,
right? Yeah.
Buffalo.
All right, well, we got two teams left that I have listed. If anybody else we have at the end of it, let me know. I'm going to throw the Avs one real quick to Doug because it was actually just a trade with Taves coming to the Avs from the Islanders. So, Doug, I know I was talking to you about this yesterday or the day before, so just give me your thoughts on this.
All right, so Devon Taves to the Avalanche for 2 second-round picks because Lou Lamoriello is senile and doesn't know how to manage a salary cap. That's a damn good trade for the Avalanche. And not even that, they traded Nikita Zadorov for Brandon Saad. So there you go, TK. There's another top 6 winger for you. And then you replace Zadorov with Taves, and that's like going from a junker car to a Ferrari. Taves is so good, man. Like, he is truly underrated. Played a lot of big minutes with Ryan Pollock in Long Island. And I think that he's probably the perfect guy to play with Cale Makar. I mean, I know that they have Ryan Graves, but I would throw him with Makar and see what happens.
He did re-sign Ryan Graves as well, so I was really happy about that one. Last team is the Florida Panthers. So I'm going to throw this one out there. Whoever wants can take it. You got 2 players that I've written down. Who wants it? Nobody likes to talk about Florida. I know.
I mean, if you want to throw me back on again, I will gladly talk about Florida.
That's fine. All right, we got I have Alex Wenberg and Vinny Hinostroza.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. 2 people that I really, really wanted to see in Pittsburgh, but, can't really do much when you retain 50% of Nick Bukestad's cap hit because, he is apparently that much of a liability. I don't know. But 2 really good depth signings for them. I think Wenberg is still very capable, like a very capable second or third line center. He's really good defensively, great on the PK. It's just, he got bought out by Columbus because they brought in Domi, and you can't have your third line center making $5 million in today's age with the cap being flat. And Vinny Hinostroza, that's a Joel Quenneville guy right there. He had him in Chicago. He really liked him. He used him as a third or fourth line player. I think he was on one of the Cup teams too. So, that was a good pickup by them. And then they're also talking about trading Mackenzie Weegar. So that's pretty big. And Toronto's apparently a destination still with them adding Bogosian and Brody. And that would be big for Toronto because if I could think of a guy that could effectively play with Morgan Riley right now, one of the few people that come to mind is Mackenzie Weegar. He's so good at moving the puck up the ice, but most importantly, he's one of the most defensively responsible defensemen in the game right now. And that would just be a slam dunk for Toronto. Okay.
All right, that about wraps up all of our free agents that we have here. Pop quiz real quick. Shout out to TSN Bar Down. We love you guys as well. So because Doug, you have this jersey on. So I'll see if anybody remembers this from their one quiz that they have. Doug, you have that secondary old logo, the horse on the shoulders of your jersey. Who knows who knows the horse's name?
Oh, jeez.
I should definitely. Oh my gosh.
I can see it.
Does it start with an S?
No.
No, it doesn't. Okay. Oh,
again, shout out TSN Bar Down. We love you guys.
No idea.
Hold on.
Don't look it up. That's cheating. Don't do it. Johnny, get your head out of your phone. Doug, head out of your phone.
I'm not searching it. I'm actually sending someone a meme.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man. Blasty, that's what it is.
Blasty, there it is. Scotty, yep. There you go.
There it is.
Blasty.
That's so simple, too.
Yeah.
Just a dumb name. Like, why would you name it? Like, what?
I saw the jersey on and I had to take advantage of it. I'm like,
oh, my goodness.
I tried doing the goal horns quiz the other day, like with the new horns, and the new horns, the songs changed, and I'm like, okay, these are different than the 2019 horns. So I was a little mad, but Oh wait, I forgot to. Oh well, we're gonna do it anyway. Yeah, Craig Smith to the Bruins and Cody Eakin to the Sabres. Anyone want to touch on those two real quick?
I just want to say Cody Eakin to the Sabres is garbage. That is terrible.
Glad you're honest.
Absolutely god-awful signing by the Buffalo Sabres, who were having a good offseason. I just don't understand it. And on top of that, with the draft, you literally passed on Marco Rossi, the best player that was going to be outside of the top 3 in the draft. You passed on him to take a winger. I mean, granted, they played for the same junior team, but, really, you have centers who can play the wing. Rossi would have been NHL ready. He would have been playing second or third line day one. I just don't understand it. Buffalo is one of those teams that, they try so hard, but then they still make 1 or 2 little mistakes, and it all just unravels.
And then we have Craig Smith and the Bruins as well. Anybody want to touch on that real quick?
The Bruins are doomed on defense. Craig Smith
good to
doesn't
know.
help. Craig Smith does not help them, I don't think. I think he's at that age where it's just, he's just should have just finished out in Nashville.
Okay. Like the thoughts. All right. Well, anything else anyone would like to add before we end out the show today?
Real quick, just throwing out some names of players that are still available in free agency. Michael Granlund, Mike Hoffman, Penguins legend Alex Galchenyuk is still available. So is let's see who else we got here. Sammy Vatanen is also available. Penguins have been looking for a right-handed shot on defense, so maybe an option to consider. Carl Soderberg, Carl Alsner, Cody Ceci. Please don't ever look at that name. Kulikov, Michael Frolik, Justin Abdelkader, my boy Evgeny Dadonov, former Penguins Ron Hainsey and Trevor Daley are available. So is Michael Grabner. And as far as goaltending is concerned, Corey Schneider is still out there. So is Jimmy Howard, and who else is still there?
I think Corey Schneider would be good for the Penguins.
Yeah.
A laughing moment.
Not a chance.
I could
Not
just
a chance.
hear Doug cringing over that.
Yeah.
What about Corey Schneider?
Corey
Yeah.
Schneider in a Penguins jersey.
He signed with the Islanders.
Did he? It says here he's still available. I know I've seen his name's been leaked to Islander reports. I didn't know if that was confirmed or not.
They're working on it, but at the same time, I don't understand why they do it because they have that Ilya Sorokin guy coming up from the KHL this year.
Was he going to be ready this year, or is that?
Dude, he should be the starter like day one. Like it's like an Igor Shesterkin type of scenario.
Got it.
All right, well, that will close it out for today. We thought we were ending the show last time at the end of the Stanley Cup, but we had to do one more show with all the free agent moves. So figure we jump back on for you guys and get one more in. So we thank you guys for tuning in to one more episode of Forechecking on CUTV Sports 1. When hockey resumes, we'll be back. Hope you guys will as well. I'm Trevor Catellis, Scotty P, our special guest, who's been stuck with us for basically half the season of Forechecking. Thank you. We'll have you on next season as well. Doug Gladkey, our hockey expert. We got him as always. Peyton Trollinger, Nolan Beislant, and Johnny Sakaguchi. Thank you guys as always. If you're a football fan, make sure to tune in to the next show as well of Fantasy Football Freak Show. That'll be on CUTV Sports 1 also. But for now, in regards to Forechecking, thank you guys, and we'll see you next season. Have a good one, guys.